Okay, now I'm going to talk about Tfilin. There was a gathering, a spiritual gathering a few years ago, and they invited people from all different religions to a hotel, and each one presented what his religion provided. And of course, they had to invite some Jews because Judaism is also religion. So a group of men got up in the morning and decided to go to the roof of the hotel to pray the morning prayer. And they brought their tefillin because that's what Jewish men do. They put them on. So when they would put them on, and before they got there was already a group of Native Americans who were gathered up there with a medicine man, and they were collecting the birds above them with their chants. The birds were flying around in circles, and the Native Americans were doing their spiritual morning regime. So when the Native Americans were finished, they came over to the Jews and were very curious. What are those things that you have on your head and on your arms? So the rabbi showed the medicine man what they were. So the medicine man took them in his hand. He says, "What are these straps?" So the rabbi said, "Rawhide." And then the medicine man asked, "What are they sewn with?" "Catgut." "And what's inside the boxes?" As he shook them, he says, the rabbi answered that they're cowskin, and on the cowskin are holy words from that are given by God. So, with a few more questions, the medicine man and all of the Native Americans were quite impressed, because they saw that everything was natural in the tefillin, and they were holy objects. Now, the only way that we can know how to produce the tefillin are from the oral law. The tefillin are mentioned in the 5 books of Moses, but they're not explained how to do them, and one could never know how to do them without the descriptions that explicitly describe how to make them and how to put them on from the oral law. So on each box is a letter shin, which has the sound of shh. On one box there are 3 branches that go up, and on the other box there are 4 branches that go up from the shin. And these represent the 7 faithful shepherds who shine their light that emanates from them. And these represent the 7 shepherds are our forefathers, who are all shepherds who watched over their sheep and their goats, and thus were in training to watch over all of us. Now, inside, as I said, is the skin of a cow, and on it is written in perfect writing of verses from the holy prayer of the Shema. And and the hand tefillin is wrapped on the arm 7 times, goes around the arm, and then it ends on the hand, and we write out in the letters Shin Daled Yud, which is the name of God. It's called Shaddai, which is the name of God, who offers us abundance, who offers us plenty, who with man with his hands helps to provide, but he's guided by God, and he never forgets that's where it comes from. Now, the tefillin are put on the head. They're put on the arm, and the box is facing the heart, and it goes all the way down to the hand. And what this represents is that our hand and our heart and our mind should all work in unison. That means the deeds that we do, the intentions that we have, and the knowledge that we have, they should all work together. Because as we know in the world, sometimes they don't. Somebody's head is going one way and his deeds are going another way. And that calls for this dissonance and distraction of his whole life. So we wish to work with harmony and make everything work together. And the box over the head, interestingly enough, goes right at the hairline, and it covers the frontal lobe. And science knows that underneath the forehead, the bone, which is the frontal bone, lies the frontal cortex and the frontal lobe of the brain. And this area of the brain is used for analysis and controls the rest of the brain. So we could imagine that there is a tremendous control over this analytical aspect of our brain. Now the knot of the head tefillin goes right into the back and the middle, right underneath the occiput. This reminds us of when Moshe asked to see God. God allowed him to see only the back of his head. Now throughout history, when Jews would go into battle, they would put on the tefillin. And this would give them an attachment, because the tefillin are a sign of attachment to God. And so we all know that when you're attached to God, you can be victorious in battle. So in closing, I'd like to say that the tefillin remind us that there's another world, the world to come. Because when we put them on, we step into this other world. And they take us to this other place. And there are rules of where you can be to wear the tefillin. They basically have to be in a holy place, and you have to have intentions that take us to take us above. And so we have this whole intention of being in the world, and the tefillin, we bring it to the tefillin, and the tefillin bring it to us, and they work in unison. And there's so much more to tell you about the tefillin, but I just wanted to bring to you these major points. So I just want to remind you that this is Avraham Moskowitz of Tfilin Cards, who is asking you to become active in the biggest game in town, and becoming who you can really be by bringing your spiritual aspect to its optimum.